Duvel 666.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is Duvel 666. Now this is a bit of a special one because this has been brewed to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Duvel Brewery, or Duvel Moorgat to give it its correct name. And obviously Duvel have their 8.5% core range blonde beer, which you probably all know. I'm sure you've seen it in supermarkets, so you can certainly get it in Morrison's. And it's not a bad beer, considering it's quite big on the production scale. It's not actually a bad beer. Now this is one of their beers that has been brewed in conjunction with another brewery, and it's a Dutch brewery, would you believe? From I think it's the IJ Brewery, which is based in Amsterdam, and it was a collaboration with them that they've set up this sort of micro brewery, which has allowed them to experiment with various brewing techniques and styles of beer. Now they already do their blonde, as I just mentioned, which is their core beer. It's what everybody knows. They also do a hopped variety as well, which I've reviewed on the channel, and believe it or not, it wasn't bad. I have to say it was a combination of the New World American style hops with the Belgian Blond, which contained the noble hops of Golding or Styrian Goldings and Saaz hops, which this contains as well. Now they make a point of saying that there are 6 different hop varieties in here, but the hop varieties are varieties of the Saaz and the Styrian Goldings hops. So I don't know what they've done. I know they've dry hopped it as well, so there is some shenanigans going on with the hops. And the ABV, you might question, saying, well, can it really be 6.6%? That's what this is listed as. And their answer to that is yes, it can. They have very specific brewing methods. There is a very, very small margin in there, but it's consistently around 6.6%, which is impressive. Now, if you don't know, Duvel in Flemish means devil. You know, all the signs are there, really, aren't they? And it got its name after World War I, when they originally brewed their blonde, but it was called Victorio, and it was brewed to commemorate the end of the First World War. But among the locals and amongst the Flemish speakers, at 8.5%, obviously they drink a lot, but they called it the devil because it would mean you would end up on your arse if you drank a lot of it, so they call it the devil. The vernacular stuck, and they decided to call their beer Devil Beer. It's not brewed in an abbey, as you can imagine, and what I like about it is they, in the advertising for this, they do make a point of saying it's not brewed in an abbey, so there you go. So there is some satanic connotations to that. Is this a contender for black metal beer of the year? Who knows? Who cares even? But Duvel Moorgat, I'll just quickly give you a little rundown on the brewery. They have been going since 1871. They have acquired quite a few other breweries, most notably the Vedat Brewery, which is a brewer of Pilsners and IPAs. To be honest, I don't think they're that great. They're passable, yes, but they're not really not standout beers. But they've been packaged and marketed as quite trendy. They sell them in Belgian nightclubs and stuff like that, and it's quite popular with the younger generation. And that is what they're trying to get through with this, because the 8.5% on the Duvel Blonde has put a lot of young people off, you know, and I can understand that as well, because, you know, young people, if they're going out, young people, fucking, I remember when I was young, fuck me. And then the war put a stop to it. But that's what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to bring down the ABV, and they're trying to market it to the younger generation. But the big emphasis, especially on the UK, and this is what they've said, they're going to put this on draft. Can you imagine people drinking this stuff on draft? 6.5%. There will be fucking carnage. Can't wait. Let's stop gas bagging and let's investigate this beer. Right, 330ml bottle. As if I need to say, it is 6.6%. It is a Belgian blonde beer, and it is a commemorative beer. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a permanent thing. I imagine it is, because they're making a big thing about this being marketed over here in the UK on draft. If they're going to go to all that trouble, I can only imagine they're not going to do that for just 1 year. So you can look forward to this when COVID is over. That's what's stopping it from being released over here on draft. But it looks interesting. So let's shut up and let's get it open. Okie dokie. Now, is this going to fizz up on me? No, it's not. Raw. Now, I'm drinking it out of one of these tulip glasses. That is what Duvel is usually drunk out of. And I haven't drunk out of this in a long while. And you're going to see how fucking filthy this is. Because, can you see all the bubbles sticking to the side? That's really strong. Oh, yes, you can definitely get the hops in that. Almost catty style hops. You can smell the bitterness. But there's a touch of, yeah, you're getting the banana and clove. But there is big, catty, grassy style hops in that. Typically European as well, especially with them clove and banana aromas. Now, one thing I will say about these tulip glasses is they really do make an emphasis of preserving the head and funneling all the aromas up through that small opening. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to get the whole lot in there or not. So this may be a tale of two beers if there's any residue. I don't think there is. I think this looks like it's been filtered, but I could be wrong. It has been known, believe it or not. There it is in the glass. Tons and tons of carbonation in that. Unfortunately, there's no brew sheet, so all I know is there's Styrian and Sart's hops in here. Styrian Goldings and Sart's hops. It smells really nice. There is a bitterness to it though, and it's a typical European bitterness. It's not that American bitterness which has got hints of grapefruit and pine. This is more grassy. When I say catty, I mean like the alpha acids have come out. They've given it a bitterness, but it's also mixed in with the herbal and earthy notes that are on here as well. And as I say, the banana and the clove from the yeast esters are coming through here too. Smells interesting, smells typically Belgian. Let's get it down the hatch. Bottoms up. And it's got a bitter, dry finish on it. Fair bit of banana and clove. Quite clean drinking though, and quite refreshing too. Now this has come out of the fridge, and it's chilled at the moment, and it is coming across as very refreshing. And there is a little bit more cloud coming into it now, so there may have been a little bit of residue. There's no floaters. The head is huge on there, and obviously that's got much to do with the carbonation and the shape of the glass, but yeah, quite nice. Let's dive in again. That is actually quite nice, and dare I say it, slightly more drinkable than their 8.5% stuff. Definitely more flavour to it. Not much hint of ethanol, which at 6.5% you may have got, you may not have got. You certainly get it on the 8.5%, which is understandable, but on this isn't bad at all, I have to say. Considering they're a big brewer, Duvel, and as I say, they've taken over a lot of breweries and they do produce a lot of beer. But this stuff, as it's been brewed in conjunction with a microbrewery, I imagine there's been a bit more attention to detail. It certainly looks nice. I really do like that colour. And again, the aromas are just getting bigger and bigger. Really nice. That is good. I like it. And in fact, I will go as far as to say it's got the perfect balance of drinkability and strength as well. Now, they said they're going to be doing this on draft. I don't think I could drink a pint of that in one hit. It's weird with me, I get some sort of psychological block. If I've drunk half a pint and I'm not enjoying a beer, the fact I've got a half a pint left in a pint glass makes me not want to finish it. If I've got a half pint glass, then it's weird. It's just I could potentially carry on drinking it. It's just the thought of, I don't know. I know it's all in the mind, but if I have a pint of this, then it probably would get a bit too much. You know, when I talk about drinking smaller quantities of beer, there is a method to my madness in that the beer will be fresher and cooler in the glass if that's what's needed for a beer like this. And this has sort of been designed for younger people, so I imagine that they'd want to session this. I mean, to be honest, when I was younger, I didn't really want to drink beers for the taste. It was more to do with how out of my nut it would get me. But this is quite nice. Flavours are there, not too obtrusive. Carbonation is quite nice as well. It doesn't interfere with the overall feel of the beer. The ethanol isn't really big on this at all. There is that medicinal taste to it from the clove. Some people don't like that. I really do. It's an acquired taste. If you at the start when you try Belgian beer, if you don't like that flavour, just persevere. You will get to like it. Trust me, because I hated it when I first tried it. I really didn't like that clove style flavour. And then I got onto German wheat beer, and I revisited the Belgian beer, and I loved it even more. So there you go. That was my route to absolutely loving Belgian beer. But yeah, this is good. I like it. Lots of flavour. Quite balanced. There's no flavour that dominates here. There's a bit of everything. There's some nice hot bitterness on the back end, which is quite dry. You've got your banana and clove. You've got nice carbonation, and it's quite refreshing. So yeah, I think Duvel have done a good job here, and considering it's for their 150th anniversary, that is quite worthy. What's the verdict on Duvel 666? Yeah, this isn't bad at all. I quite like it. Hard to get hold of. Now, I don't know whether that's going to change when COVID stops, because this has really been designed. This is how they're going to market it when COVID is over. This is going to be a draft beer. Obviously, you'll still be able to get it in the bottles, but they're going to try and push it to the pubs. And I really hope it doesn't go the way Leffe does, because if it becomes popular, then I think they'll start cutting corners and it probably won't taste the same. But as it stands now, that is really nice. It's quite well balanced. As for it being sessionable, probably not. 6.6%, you're going to end up fucked up if you drink too much of this. Certainly if they... I hope they don't, but if you can imagine walking into a pub and saying, I'll have a Duvel, and they just pour you a pint of it and slap it down on the... Surely they won't. They won't do that. They may do that. I don't think I could drink a pint of this. Certainly couldn't drink 2 pints of it. It's just a bit too much. And don't get me wrong, there are beers of similar ABV that I could drink all night, and I probably wouldn't have much coherence by the end of the night, but I could still drink it. Certainly some of the German Box and Maybach beer and stuff like that. Even some of the weaker Doppelbocks I could drink all night. This, I think you need to drink it at 330ml and pace yourself, because you'll end up ruined otherwise. I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10 because it really isn't doing much wrong. I like the balance of it, and I like that it's got quite a bit of hop character in it. If you like the Duvel, the original 8.5 stuff, you're certainly going to like this because there's more hop character coming through. If you liked their hopped Duvel, I can't remember the name of it, I've reviewed it on the channel. If you like that, then you may like this, because there, as I say, it's got a lot of hop bitterness in it, nice dry finish, and it's quite refreshing. So yeah, that is not too bad from Duvel. Well done. 8 out of 10, recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.